A lovely evening and thanks for joining us on the news update on 24 News Radio and Television. My name is Grace Wafo. The prelate of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Dr. Oliver Abba, has attributed rising insecurity in the country to hunger and inflation, while calling for urgent government action to address the deepening economic hardship. Speaking at the 43rd Council of Bishops of the Methodist Church Nigeria, held at the Methodist Cathedral of Unity, Wuse, Abuja, Dr. Abba said insecurity remained the root cause of Nigeria's socio-economic woes and urged the authorities to act with earnesty and seriousness in tackling the nation's challenges. The event was declared open by President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. In his message, President Tinubu acknowledged the Methodist Church contributions to national development and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to deepening collaboration with faith-based institutions. 7 members of the House of Representatives, Akwa Ibom State Caucus, have defected from the opposition to the ruling All Progressive Congress. The lawmakers were elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party and the Young Progressives Party. Their defection was announced in separate letters addressed to the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas. The exit of the Akwa Ibom lawmakers is coming a few weeks after the defection of the Akwa Ibom Governor, Umo Eno, from the PDP to the APC. Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has slammed the anti-Tinubu coalition, which on Wednesday took over the structure of the African Democratic Congress (ADC), describing them as a gang of failed and expired politicians. According to him, Senator David Mark wanted to be chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), but was resisted and has now gone to take that of the ADC. He said Mark, as leader of the PDP in his area, lost elections as his daughter, who ran under the All Progressive Congress (APC), won to the House of Representatives. Wike added that the former sports minister, Balaji Abdullahi, only moved to the ADC because he has fallen out with his godfather, Senator Bukola Saraki. He said the only party today that can still challenge Tinubu is the PDP if they put their house in order. And from the Labour Party, the Julius Sabure-led faction of the Labour Party has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to formally resign his membership following his decision to join the opposition coalition platform under the African Democratic Congress (ADC). Obi was unveiled on Wednesday as one of the major political figures aligning with a new ADC-led coalition formed to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general election. Meanwhile, Labour Party's National Publicity Secretary Obiora Ifo has described the coalition as a gathering of powermongers and accused Obi of holding dual political loyalties. According to him, the Labour Party is not part of the coalition and will not entertain individuals with dual agendas or deceptive personas. The party spokesman urged Labour Party members to remain loyal, insisting that the Abure-led leadership is committed to building a truly progressive and youth-driven political movement. Publisher of a popular magazine, Dele Momodu, has stated that opposition leaders who adopted the African Democratic Congress (ADC) have agreed in principle that internal struggles for power will not destroy the coalition. Momodu, while addressing journalists in Abuja, expressed delight at the launch of the coalition, saying the leaders from all other political parties in ADC are ready to unseat President Bola Tinubu and the ruling All Progressive Congress. The launch of the coalition, led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, was attended by many top politicians, including the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, former Governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, former Senate President David Mark, former National Chairman of the ruling APC, John Odige Oyegun, former Governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai, Abubakar Malami, and former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. Others include former Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, former Governor of Cross River, Liel Imoke, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, Dino Melai, Elisha Abu, and many other politicians who joined the coalition from the PDP, the APC, and the Labour Party. Meanwhile, Dumebi Kachiku, the 2023 presidential candidate of the ADC, has kicked against the adoption of his party as a coalition platform by opposition politicians. And from Oyo State, the Oyo State Advisory Council has commended Governor Seyi Makinde's effort in building quality road infrastructure that targets the economic expansion agenda of the state. The council chairman, Bolaji Ayorinde, gave the commendation when he led members of the council on an inspection of the ongoing 110 kilometers Senator Rashid Ladoja Circular Road in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Ayorinde, in a statement by the special advisor to Governor Makinde on media, Suleiman Olarewaju, said the quality of work and the pace of the project have been excellent. He lauded Makinde for executing the project, describing it as a legacy project poised to ease traffic congestion within the Ibadan metropolis, stimulate economic growth, and open up the corridor for real estate development and hospitality businesses. The project will also become an arterial road that will connect the state to other states in the country. And still in Oyo State, an Oyo State High Court sitting in Ibadan has dismissed a 5 billion naira defamation suit instituted by the Are Onakankafo of Yoruba land, Gani Adams, against the Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Adeyemo, fondly called Sunday Igboho. The court, presided over by Justice Ademola Salami, also awarded a fine of 500,000 naira against Adams in favor of Igboho. He alleged that the respondent recorded a telephone conversation between him and another person without his consent to get defamatory content, saying the action breached his right to privacy pursuant to Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And from the southeast, a high court sitting in Awka, Anambra State, presided over by Justice Peace Oti, has sentenced a 44-year-old woman, Goodness Daniel, to 5 years imprisonment with an option of a 2 million naira fine for human trafficking. The defendant was charged with human trafficking, specifically for buying and selling of human beings, contrary to Section 21 of the Trafficking in Person Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act 2015. She was prosecuted by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Anambra State Command. And from Delta State, a suspected cultist has been arrested by operatives of the CP Special Assignment Team of the Delta State Police Command. The operatives also recovered firearms, including one Beretta pistol with 3 rounds of live ammunition and a stolen vehicle from suspects during raids of criminal hideouts in the continued effort to rid the state of criminal element. Report has it that the operatives, led by ASP Julius Robinson, acting on credible intelligence, stormed Yoruba Street of Sapele Town and arrested one Rashid Atonda, native of Irinle community of Kwara State, resident in Sapele Town. The police public relations officer, Delta State, SP Bright Edafe, made this known in a statement which he made available to journalists in Warri, that preliminary investigation further led the operative to arrest other suspects. The police spokesman affirmed that all the suspects confessed to being members of the I confraternity, adding that the suspects are presently in custody as the investigation continues. Meanwhile, the State Commissioner of Police, CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, has commended the operatives for their swift and coordinated response. And now from the foreign scene, Tanzania's Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has announced that he will not seek re-election in the forthcoming parliamentary elections. Majaliwa had earlier said that he would defend his legislative seat for a 4th time in October before making the surprise turnaround on Wednesday. The 64-year-old was appointed Prime Minister in 2015 and was seen as a possible successor of the late President John Magufuli after his death in 2021. He has continued to hold the position under President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who is seeking to retain the presidency under the ruling Chamacha Mapinduzi (CCM). Majaliwa, who has represented the coastal Ruanga region since 2010, said his decision was guided by God and was made in good faith. Majaliwa said he would continue serving as a senior CCM official and support Samia's presidential bid. And from Ukraine, the deputy chief of the Russian Navy, Major General Mikhail Gudkov, has been killed by Ukraine in Russia's Kursk region. Governor of the Primorsky region in Russia's Far East, Oleg, said Major General Gudkov, the deputy commander-in-chief of the Russian Navy, was one of Russia's highest-ranking officers to have been killed since the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago. He described Gudkov as a strong-willed warrior who died while performing his duty as an officer together with his fellow soldiers. Russia's Ministry of Defense confirmed Gudkov's death on Thursday, saying that no immediate comment from Ukraine. Gudkov was appointed as the deputy chief of the Russian Navy for coastal and ground forces by President Vladimir Putin in March. And from North Korea is set to triple the number of its troops fighting for Russia along the front lines with Ukraine, sending an additional 25,000 to 30,000 soldiers to assist Moscow, according to an intelligence assessment from Ukraine officials. A Western intelligence official confirmed this estimate, saying they had seen information separate to the Ukrainian assessment, which suggested up to 30,000 new North Korean troops that could be sent to Russia. And now from the world of sport. Former Liverpool manager Klopp said he was heartbroken to learn Diogo Jota, who he signed in 2020, had died with his younger brother Andre in a car crash. Diogo Jota, 28, died alongside Andre after their vehicle veered off a motorway in northern Spain before bursting into flames. He was a key part of Klopp's side that won the League Cup and FA Cup in 2021-2022, narrowly missing out on the Premier League and Champions League for what would have been an unprecedented quadruple. And that brings us to the end of the news updates on 24 News Radio and Television. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the broadcast. My name is Grace Wafo. Have a lovely evening.